What's up? What's up? Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Hope Shot Live events. Tonight we have Addiction to Success, where we're sharing stories of recovery from active addiction. And tonight we have a special guest. Her name is Jamie Tall. Some of you might know her, some of you might not, but we're going to hear her story tonight. If you guys are just jumping on, say what's up. Let us know you're here. We got a few people up in the house. We got Jamie. What's up, Jamie? We got my boy Jerry. That's a Facebook user still. Oh shit. There's Brad. What's up, Brad? Sober's cool. Legends. You the legend, my friend. We got Jared from Ottawa, Canada. What's up? We got Dominique. We got Jessica James. Favorite night. What's up, fam? Indianapolis, Indiana. Mark, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for coming on a couple weeks ago, man, to share your story. I appreciate you, man. Always showing up. We got Steven. How's it going from Florida? I'm in Florida too, my friend. We got Andrea. And I think that's still Jerry. And then we got Alfred. So I'm going to... Oh, wait. I got to say what's up, my boy Phil Tyler. What's up, my friend? Against the Odds, man. If you guys don't know who that is, man, go like his page. Good dude right there. So we read the clarity statement before we do any kind of live broadcast, just so there's no lines crossed and we all are in the same boat. It's the clarity statement. And as soon as I find it, I'm not prepared tonight. Let's see, clarity. I need clarity. All right. So the Hope Shot Clarity Statement. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common: recovery as a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. Thank you for being a part of our family. All right, man. Let's say what's up to Hard Knock Talks. What's up, man? Another great platform right there. Sharing, spreading hope. I'm actually going to be sharing my story this Sunday, right after ours. It's going to be a long night for me, I'll tell you that. Let's see. We got Veronica. What's up, Veronica? We got Joe Harris. Good evening to you. Let's see. We got Alicia. Good to be back with y'all again tonight. Second time here. Well, thank you. Welcome back. We got my boy Mike Kenny in the house. What's up, fam? And Jessica James, Against the Odds with Phil Tyler, knows that too. Yes. All right. So tonight's guest, we have Jamie Tall, and she is big on social media. That girl can pump out some reels. She's the real deal. But no, I found, like I said, man, social media, man, connects people, man. It's all about connection. You know, social media is one of the biggest tools for connecting people, man, that like we would have never been connected like this. You know, I mean, Jamie, I probably would never met her in my life if we didn't have social media. You know, it almost feels like you know people on social media more than without even talking to them, you know? And that's what it's about, man. It's that connection that we lost, you know? What is the opposite? I can't even talk sometimes. The opposite of addiction is connection. And that's what social media does for the most part. Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's good. It's a healthy balance, right? Anyways, I'm going to bring her on. So let's welcome Jamie. Hey, what's up, Jamie?
What's up?
Thank you for coming on tonight and gracious with your presence of sharing your story. I appreciate you.
I'm super excited. I'm excited to be here. I love how you said that too about connection is the opposite of addiction. That is something that we stand by out here for sure.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the truth, man, because you know, we felt like we were just some outcasts of the world and nobody wanted us around and nobody believed in us. And the second chances, you know, that's something I'm big with in my community is believing in people, man. When you believe in somebody and somebody feels that, like, it just sends them to that next level of life, man, where like you could do anything just to have that one person believe in you. And that's what it's about, connecting with people, you know?
Absolutely.
So, well, I'm going to give you the floor. You just share and thank you for being here.
All right. Well, my name is Jamie, and I am a woman in long term recovery. And what that means to me is it has been over 7 years since I have had to stick a needle in my arm to get out of bed. And recovery has afforded me the ability to be a mom today, to be a wife today, to be a business owner today. I am a tax paying citizen. I am able to walk around freely and go wherever I want to go and do the things that I want to do in this life. And, it's really given me just joy, absolute joy and gratitude. And I'm so grateful to be here to be able to share my story with you. I have some pretty graphic things in my story. So just want to throw that out there, a little trigger warning for you. But I truly believe that the gateway to addiction is trauma. And growing up, I grew up in a super alcoholic household. My father was a very violent alcoholic. He was affiliated with the mob. My family is from Sicily. We are from New England. And so I'm a Patriots fan, Tom Brady all the way, even though he's in Florida now. So yes. So growing up, in a alcoholic household, in a very Sicilian kind of like, the culture is what happens in the family stays in the family. You don't go outside the family, and whatever's going on, you don't ever tell anybody, right? And so at a very young age, it was like I never knew what I was walking into. Was I going to come home to my dad, who was this fun, like playful guy who wanted to watch scary movies with me and eat celery and peanut butter? Or am I going to come home to my father, who's being drunk, who raped my mom in front of me, who smashed everything in our whole entire house, who got arrested I don't know how many times for putting people in trunks? Okay, like what am I going to come home to? And always feeling like I was completely out of control. From a very young age, I tried to control other things in my life, like eating. So I started starving myself when I was like 5. It was like something that I could control because the rest of my life was so uncontrollable because of my father's affiliations and things that happened. We were constantly moving. I went to 12 different schools before I even got to high school. And they were quick moves. They weren't like, it was like from one side of the country to the other, right? We're going from Georgia to Florida. We're going from Florida, New York to Massachusetts, right? Like we're going quick. Okay. No time to tell anybody, no time to say anything. We're just going. And it was like every time I moved to a new place, I would come up with like a new identity. Like, okay, now I'm going to be Jamie, who, this is the person that I'm going to be this time with these people. And never being able to truly make any connection with anyone or have any real friends, right? Because I had to go to school and not ever be able to tell anybody what was going on in the household. And that to me kept me isolated. And I was so, so lonely. Through my eating disorders and things like that, disordered eating, I was very chubby. I got made fun of a lot. I got bullied. That was really, really hard. Just being able to, trying to be accepted and not being accepted, because of my weight or because of my skin color or because of who my father was. It was really, really hard. And so all I ever wanted was to be able to fit in. And I thought that I finally found that when I got to high school. I found this group of friends who truly accepted me, my first real friends. And they just happened to be the pot smokers, drug dealers, in high school. And, it it was fun back then, right? It was like we would, smoke a lot of weed and we would do acid. I remember like one of the funniest times was watching Austin Powers and I was so high like on mushrooms and I was just laughing hysterically for like hours and it was just so great, because it was a choice then and it was fun when it was a choice. And I remember when drugs and alcohol really became my solution. I went to like my first real high school party and I felt so insecure. Oh my goodness, I wanted to jump out of my skin. And I started drinking and I started smoking. And all of a sudden, something clicked. And I was funny and I was charming and people liked me and I was confident. And I thought, whoa, this is what I've been looking for my whole entire life. And I just kept going on from there. Now, if it would have stayed there, oh, it would have been great. But unfortunately, with addiction, things generally don't stay where it's fun and where it's a choice. So, I did very well in school. I actually got an associate degree in business science and psychology. And things were very manageable. I ended up having a son. I even stopped using while I was pregnant, stopped using and did the mom thing, the whole like breastfeeding, was stay at home mom for like a year. But then after like a year, I was like, I kind of miss like going out and having fun and drinking. But it was like, as soon as I started again, it was like I was right back where I left off, like bam, right there, all of a sudden, and started doing cocaine, and that led me to smoking crack, and I called that the worst year I ever spent in the bathroom. It was terrible because I never ever left the bathroom. Things started getting kind of crazy. I moved into a little bit of a different lifestyle. Me and baby daddy broke up. He went to jail for something, and I started working in strip clubs, got in that whole scene of prostitution. And, the crazy thing was, I felt at the time, this is how sick I was, that I found acceptance in the strip club. I felt like, oh, I must really be worth something if these guys are paying me to sit with them and to dance in front of them. Like, I must really be worth something. And I started finding my value in men. And that was a whole nother part of my disease coming out. And, things, I kind of was like a party girl at that point. I ended up giving my son to my mom for her to raise, which, today looking back at it, I thought I was doing the right thing. I wish that, of course, I had done something different. But he, ended up staying with her, forever. And that was really, really hard. And that part of, the guilt and the shame of giving my son to my mom at the time, I thought was the most like selfless thing and the best thing for him. And it probably was. But still hard to deal with the guilt and shame of that. And I tried to, do the right thing. There were so many, periods of where I would get it together and then I'm back out escorting. I had 2 escort services. I actually got busted in a huge prostitution sting in Polk County, Florida. I got blasted on the news 3 days straight. They blasted me. I'm talking like put my picture, my address, my birthday. And I was just about to graduate. I was in massage therapy school then. It was the day before my graduation and I got busted. And yeah, I missed my graduation. They told me you will never be a massage therapist ever. And, so that was really hard. My father had died. And it was due to, the disease of addiction. It was his 3rd heart attack at 42. He was addicted to pain pills and, a severe alcoholic, like I said. So that was really hard. I carried a lot of guilt. I just wasn't able to cope with all of these things, right? So made a geographical change, moved to a different state with my mom, and was like, okay, now I'm going to do the right thing. I'm really going to try and get it together. Ended up back with baby daddy, and was he was moving in with me. We had a little house. We were doing well. I was waitressing somewhere, and I had just started taking pain pills. I think I had gotten them for like a dentist appointment or something like that. Like I had an infection in my tooth or something, and started taking these pain pills. And I never really did pain pills before. I was not a downer person. I was always an upper person. But something happened this time when I took them. Something in my brain clicked, and I was like, "Ooh, I like this. I can go to work on this. I can be functional on this. I can be a good mom on this." And I ended up actually sleeping with doctors for prescriptions. And so I had unending supply of pills, which was great until I got pregnant with my daughter. And so I ended up coming clean to my OBGYN at 7 months pregnant that I was addicted to pain pills. And she assured me that they would keep my daughter under surveillance in the NICU for about a week, and, we would be good to go home. Because I did have prescriptions for the pain pills, So, but that's not what happened. What happened was, as soon as I had her, they took her away from me. They wouldn't even let me in the same room as her. And I was devastated because I truly thought with this child, with a daughter, because I had always wanted a little girl, I'm going to really do the right thing, and I'm going to be the best mom that I can be. And it didn't happen. And I messed it up again. And I couldn't understand why, no matter how bad I wanted to, I couldn't stop using. I felt so defeated. So that started me in and out of detox centers, mental institutions. They gave custody to my mom. So now my mom had custody of both my children. And I was allowed to live in her household, while she took over the mom role. And that just really put me into an even worse downward spiral, with guilt and shame, just carrying that. And again, not being able to cope with my feelings, not being able to cope with my emotions, right? And not ever telling anybody really how devastated I really was. I just kept it inside and just like, well, I can handle it. I'm just going to keep moving. And finally, I started getting into some trouble, some legal stuff here and there. I think the last time I got arrested was like a Tuesday night, nothing crazy going on. And I got a schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the cop was like, "Man, this is all yours." I'm like, "Hey, it's Tuesday, and this is nothing, right?" And so I ended up going to jail, and the judge put me on a 4-year first offenders felony probation. So it was my first time ever getting any kind of like felony charges. And the judge said to me, "Okay, now, if you get in trouble or fail a drug test in the next 4 years, you're going to go to prison." And really, something clicked. I had a revelation of, shit, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to pass a drug test. I don't know how to not get in trouble. And I decided then that I knew I needed to do something different. Didn't know what, but knew I needed to do something different. Got out of jail, was supposed to go see my probation officer. And within 3 days, I was already using again, knowing I had to go take a test for the probation officer. And I knew I had to do something different at that point. I ended up going to a sober living in Athens, Georgia. A friend of mine from prison, she had just got out of prison, called me up and said, "Hey, I'm going to this sober living in Athens. I think you should come." And I just threw my hands up in the air and said, "Okay." It was like I didn't know what else to do. And it was cool that I was going to have a friend there, right? I wasn't going to have to like be alone. So that was some good motivation for me. And really, I was sick and tired of waking up every day, pissed off that I woke up. I was tired of having to sleep with people to have a couch to stay on. I was tired of my parents, like my mom and my kids being disappointed in me. I was tired of the mom I had become. I was not a good parent, okay? I was the mom who said, "Yes, I promise I'll walk you to the bus stop tomorrow," and then not show up. I was the parent who would steal from my kids' piggy bank. I was the parent who brought, any old person into my mom's house and didn't even have regard for the safety of my children there. So I was tired of everything. I was tired of my own bullshit, basically. And so went into this sober living. It was crazy. Athens, Georgia, we're right here on UGA campus. So this sober living was like it was like a campus. And I went into this house with 13 other women. And I was like, what is this? Like a sober sorority? It was crazy. But it was so cool because there were these women in here who were trying to do the same things I was doing. They were trying to be a mom. They were trying to get a job. They were trying to get an apartment. They were trying to get their dignity back and find some self-worth and self-esteem. And I ended up getting a job within 3 days and ended up getting really involved in the 12-step community, step work, sponsor. Whatever they told me to do, I did it because I didn't know what else to do. So all I could do was be open-minded, listen, and take suggestions. And that is exactly what I did. They told me to go to meetings. I went to meetings. They, told me to start sharing in meetings. I started sharing in meetings. Eventually, at 89 days sober, I started telling my story, going into the same mental institutions, crisis intervention units that I was in. I was going in there and talking to people and telling them, "Hey, I'm 89 days sober," and it was amazing. And I realized at that time that there was something to this. There was something to sharing hope. There was something to sharing stories of overcoming. And that is when I kind of embarked on this new like road, this like whole body recovery, like mind, body, spirit, everything. I mean, they say you have to change only one thing. That's everything. And so I started doing things that I would never normally do. I started exercising and taking care of myself. I've lost 85 pounds in this recovery journey, which is crazy. I had never exercised a day in my life. And then all of a sudden now I'm like, fitness every day. I started chasing dreams and doing things that I never thought I could do. I decided to take my test to be a massage therapist, the one that they said I would never be able to do. And I ended up getting my massage license. And within 6 months, I won Therapist of the Year for Massage Envy. And then last year, I just won Therapist of the Year for the city of Athens. And, started a business. I started investing money, something I thought that I would never be able to do. Got a savings account, got an IRA, right? All of these things that I never thought that someone like me could do. And, I had faith in myself, right? Embarked on a spiritual journey. My spirituality is a huge part of my recovery process. My higher power is like just like my best friend, and the reason and the way that I have like the strength and courage and boldness to do the things that I do today. I got certified with Georgia Council on Substance Abuse, and I am a certified addiction recovery empowerment specialist, and I am a peer specialist for addictive disease. I have a recovery coaching company. I decided that I wanted to make a YouTube channel and start talking to people about recovery. So I did. Anything that I thought like, oh, this would be cool, that I never before ever had courage and boldness to do, today I do those things. I do all of those things. Anything that I think of that I think I want to do, like nothing is out of the spectrum for me. And nothing has to be out of the spectrum for anybody in recovery. Everybody can achieve whatever goals and dreams that they want to. I decided that I was going to try and be a better mom. So I had to figure out how to do that. And I realized that I was a pretty selfish and self-centered person, and I needed to figure out about my kiddos, right? Like, what do my kids like? What do they like to do? What do they want to talk about? What are their dreams and aspirations? Like, it's not all about me. And so, I had to start doing that. And I started like calling them and texting them every day. And that's how I rebuilt that relationship. Same thing with my mom. I had such a resentment and I was so angry at her for taking my children from me. But, I had to own my part in that. If I wasn't making the choices that I made, she wouldn't have had to do that, and she wouldn't, that all of that wouldn't have happened. So, just owning my part in things, it literally took, for anybody out here who is waiting for family amends, it took my mom 5 years before she finally opened her arms up, and was like, okay, come home. At that point, I had my own place. So I was like, no, Mom, but I'll come visit. And, I got married last October. I was such a commitment phobe. I used to date people in all different states. That way I could like have somebody, but I didn't ever really have to like commit, it kept me safe. It kept my heart safe. So I thought, right. Until my husband moved from Florida to here. And then he wasn't my husband at the time, and then we got married and stuff. So, life is good today. I get to have my massage business. I actually, so massage and recovery are two things that I'm super passionate about. And so I decided that I was going to put them together and I was going to create a protocol called Recovery Massage. And I started teaching it at the local massage schools. And now we offer it out here at nonprofits for people in recovery to come for free to get massage. And that's super amazing. Right? We need to bring it to Florida for real. So yeah, life is good today. Is everything like fantastic every day? No, like I'm still human. I still, don't make good choices sometimes. We were talking earlier about how I got in an argument with some lady and Facebook jail, right? Like I'm not perfect, but every day I try to be the best, version of myself that I can be. And I believe in this recovery thing, and I believe in anybody who wants to give it a shot and who's on this road. So
awesome, Jamie. That's dude. Recovery massages. Like I think you're onto something here. I think I need a few of those freebies. You know what I mean? No, no, it's what we need. It's self-care. We were just on here talking about, that I don't do it enough for as far as the massages go, because they release these toxins in our bodies that we need.
Absolutely.
We need massages, and it just makes us feel better. We need anything to make us feel better, because what do we used to use to make us feel better?
And exactly. Yes. Another way to change the way you feel, but it's a healthy way, right? Also, trauma is stored in the body. So when you get massage, you're releasing this trauma and these emotions that are stuck in your body. So it's another tool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and fitness, man. We were just talking like we get so lost with life sometimes, man. You got to do all these things. You got to drink water. You got to freaking, eat right. You got to, go to work, like you got to get an IRA. You got to get a savings account. You got to do these adulting things. You got to make sure the kids are alive, I say that a lot too. Um, but it's true. Like there's so many things, and it can be overwhelming at times, and there's gonna be something that lacks. Most of the time, it's either our recovery lacking, our fitness is lacking, the way we take care of ourselves is lacking, but everything else, because bills come first and everything else has to come first before we're first, and that's something we always got to like bring it back sometimes, and then find that balance in that, because life is all about that. At times we think we have it all together, like, oh man, everything's great, I'm killing it, everything's wonderful, and then next thing you know, it's all out of whack and we don't know what's going on, and like that's where like we have to figure it out. Okay, step back, breathe. Sometimes we're putting focus too much on one thing and not enough on the other. Maybe we're doing too much social media. Maybe we're eating out too much. Maybe we're doing too much sweets. Maybe we're doing too much work. Work can be a
Mhm.
huge drug in my life. I know that for a fact, that I can use anything to an unhealthy state. No matter, I don't care. We can use fitness to an unhealthy state. We can use eating right to an unhealthy state instead of enjoying it. So, you know, I think it's cool that you're doing that with the recovery massage thing.
Yeah, it's actually, if I can expand on it just a little and tell you
Yeah.
the science behind it. So I actually took colored lights, essential oils, acupressure points, um and then like positive affirmations. And so like say somebody comes in and they're new, right, and they're new in the sober living, and they need to go job searching. They're still kind of like detoxing, feeling crappy. They have to go walk around, on foot for a couple miles to try to fill out job applications, and they come and see me, right? Say I put on like some green lights to help spark their creativity, right? I'll use some grapefruit essential oils to give them some energy. Okay. Start with some like acupressure points for like anxiety so that they don't feel nervous. Do some positive affirmations for, you know what I mean? Like intentions on finding jobs, and really just like set them up for their day. It's amazing. I can take somebody in 30 minutes and totally turn their day around.
That sounds like ridiculously amazing. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, you say acupuncture points. Now, are you actually doing acupuncture?
No, it's acupressure. So you use your,
Acupressure.
yes.
Got it. Because I was like, I don't know if needles will really not on newbies. Let's bring them
No.
back.
No, you use your fingers, but the same like the
Got
meridians like you would acupuncture, but you just use your fingers. Mhm.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. No, that sounds freaking amazing. And you know what's cool? Like, okay, so the positive affirmations. I remember when I first got in recovery, right? We used to go to this right here. We have Wikiwachi Springs. It's a river, and there's this Christian camp, and we used to go there for these camp outs for a fellowship, and it was just an awesome weekend. But we would do these campfire deals where it was called Angel Whisperers, and this lady Sasha, she's like very spiritual, and she made, I don't know if she got it for somebody, whatever. Anyways, she puts it on to where people let me not screw this up. I believe there's people sitting in a chair, right? There's like A and B, so they go around the circle, A B A B. All the B's stand up, and all the A's sit down, and they go behind, and everybody goes in a circle, and they whisper these like positive affirmations, and they don't know who's hearing it, right? And those little positive affirmations could be something that somebody's struggling with, or they need that extra boost of energy, or they need something to know they're in the right direction. And dude, I'm telling you, it is powerful. And then we switch. So the people that are A's, they get up, and then the B's sit down after we do the circle. And it's just, I don't know, something about it, man. It's just so moving, so amazing. Like I'm telling you, I think everybody should have a chance at experiencing that, because it's something special.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
It's super cool. I mean, campouts are super cool. And then when you get a bunch of people in the same place, like-minded people doing the same exact thing, and then having that spiritual experience, it's moving, you know? But yeah, so I have a few things that, I mean, probably went over a couple of them, but, I had to touch on the mushroom deal, like, because that was my thing too. The mushrooms, man, that's a spiritual experience as well sometimes. But I remember, I remember back in the day, I've had some stories about all that crazy stuff, and sitting there playing. You said you're watching Austin Powers. I was playing, what was it, Blitz on the Nintendo. I sat there for hours running the wrong way.
Why isn't this working?
I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, that's how crazy. And then so you got arrested in Polk County, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you had got blasted by JD, what is that? Grady Judd.
Yes.
The sheriff. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
You got roped up in the worst county in Florida. Were you from that county?
No,
No.
they called me over. They found me online. I had a Craigslist ad, and they found me online and had me come over. And they brought me into this hotel where, like, the whole hotel was fake. Like, I mean, there was like everybody in it was like an actor. It was crazy. When I was walking out, I was like, I can't believe this shit was a whole setup. Like the front desk person, like random people sitting on park benches. Like everybody, it was a completely vacant hotel, and it was probably like an hour from where I lived at the time. And so, yeah, oh my goodness, the guy, like, I was trying to get him to like agree without saying, because I'm not stupid, right? You don't ever agree to, I'm not a prostitute. What are you trying to say here? No, we're relaxing. Okay.
Yeah.
We're relaxing. Are you going to take your pants off or what? And
so relaxed.
Yeah. And literally, like, after like 15 minutes, he kept asking me, like, well, what do you get on Craigslist? Like, do you buy cars on Craigslist? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what you're trying to ask me here, but I'm gonna go. And I went to try to like run out the door, and it was like a double door hotel room, like it flung open, and there was like 25 cops, reporters. The Dateline guy was there.
Oh my God.
Mean, it was crazy.
Who is the Dateline guy? What is that?
Chris somebody or other.
Chris Hansen.
Yeah,
Chris
Hansen.
That guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
And
that guy, you fucked when that dude comes up in there. I'm Chris Hampson, was at Dateline NBC. I'm like, oh
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
Yeah, just backed up. Well, I mean, they were mean too. They were saying I was disgusting and calling me names, and it was terrible. And all the news cameras, and I just buried my hands in my face, and it was, I used to call that like the worst day of my whole entire life. But it was kind of like the beginning of things changing, of me figuring out, hey, this probably isn't a good idea anymore.
It's not working anymore. I might as well.
Right.
Let me hang it up, and you're talking about a bunch of empty promises to your kids. It's like you want to do these things, and you're like, tomorrow, no, this is my last hoorah. Tomorrow's going to be the day. I want to be a good mom. I want to be this. I want to be that. But it's like every time it's like this other person inside of you is just dragging you into the mud. And like, so how many kids you have, for one thing, and have they forgiven you for all those empty promises?
Oh yeah. I have a 12-year-old daughter and an 18-year-old son, and they are definitely my biggest fans. My daughter, me and her like do reels together and stuff. Like she's amazing. My son, he's 18. And he's kind of on his own journey right now. He's getting into some, not making some great choices on some things, but the thing is with that is I am so open and honest with my kids about my struggle and what I've been through, that I have, 100% faith that, if things get out of control, he'll know where to go, and he knows that recovery is possible if it does get to that point. So
That's an
mhm.
awesome example to put that out there. They know the worst and they know what the solution is, So, and that's what's cool about it. We might have screwed up, but at least they have present, just like I mean, I haven't been the best in my life. My youngest don't know nothing, which they're 8 and 6, and they don't really know anything about, daddy screwed up, but the older ones have got the brunt of it. And it's an amend process. It's a living amends. It's nothing I could fix from the past. And luckily they're not anywhere even remotely for right now that where I was at that age. I lost my 20s, so literally
Mhm.
lost all my 20s. I have no clue. It's just little blips of memory that I have from that time. So they're doing okay. But it's cool that your kids those promises are now being fulfilled.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when I say I'm going to be there, they know that I am for real going to be there. I get to financially support my children today. I get to show up at events. My daughter, she does competitive dance.
Oh,
She
cool.
does horseback riding. So I get to be there, for all of those things. So
That's awesome. Another thing is being struggling with self-worth and self-esteem, and it's something that every person on this earth struggles with. Even the most egotistical people we know struggle with self-worth and self-esteem and that pat on the back. And that's why a lot of people don't like going on camera. And I've noticed this since I've been doing this stuff, that like the camera situation, as soon as it turns on, it's like, ugh. And I do it too. Like
mhm.
I'd rather do lives than I do recording. I don't know why. I don't like scripted. I just want to be me. You know what I mean? But everybody struggles with it. Oh, this, and I like my hair and my freaking ears are too big, and my teeth are weird, my smile's jacked up. Whatever, we can pick ourselves apart, and it's like we're not different from anybody else in this world. We just chose to use drugs to stop the craziness and stop the insanity, which I feel like everybody else does too. It's just we're extremists, as I like to call it.
Mhm.
Extremists. Um,
Absolutely. Take it. Like whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it all the way.
and that's another thing you said. Like you can do anything you want. Like we can do anything. I've proven to myself throughout these years. It's like no matter what I touch, no matter what I do, I always put my full effort into it. I am that guy. So like we put our full effort into drugs, we are gun ho on it. We could take that same energy we use to get fucked up and to chase the drug and chase this and whatever. We can take that same energy and put it towards positive, fulfilling stuff. And it doesn't matter who you are, if you're, as long as you don't keep starting over, you know, the starting
Right.
over sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Um yeah, this last time, July 20th, 2015 was my last day that I had to start over. But I went in and out of detox like 8 different times. And every time I would get out of detox, I would think, okay, now I can go use drugs like everybody else.
Like a
I can
normal person.
like a normal person, right? I can smoke meth like the normal people. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
normal people don't smoke meth.
Do you hear yourself right now? No. It's true. Listen. You talk to normal people, like normal-ish people, because nobody's really normal, but normal-ish people, and you talk to them about these things that we thought were normal, like, and like even my wife, she was on the normal-ish side, and she'd be like, "Do you hear yourself right now? That sound normal to you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It's like it's not. I was like, "Okay." Thank you. It's the getting and using and finding ways and means to get more, you know,
Right.
and it's the crazy insanity that we think is
Mhm.
normal. You know, it's our world. It's our world. My world that might not seem normal to your world, but and that's what's cool about us. You know, we can relate with each other, and that's what the strength and the that's why we share. You know, you said another thing, some something about sharing hope and sharing our stories because then we can relate. I relate with you because it sounds freaking insane, but it's what we do. You know, it's what we do when we're on freaking meth or crack or sitting in bathrooms and trying to figure out where the door is.
Mm.
You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then knowing too that, I wasn't the only one, right? And it helped me also to be able to give myself grace, I mean, there was so much guilt for my son. I remember his dad worked in the early mornings, and I worked in the evenings. We had this terrible crack habit, and we never saw each other, but we still were like working at the time. And I remember coming home one day from work, and my son, I think he was maybe 2 at the time, and he knew every single word of all the cartoons. You know what I mean? Like, he knew all of them, and I was like, man, that's all he does is sits in front of the TV. Like, that's all we do. We keep our kid, like, the TV is parenting our child. You know what I mean? Because I can't get the crack stem out of my mouth, right? Being in the bathroom, and my son like banging on the door, like, mommy, mommy, and I'm like, okay, we just wait, and being frustrated. You know what I mean? Like, I have so much guilt for those things, but when I share about these things, and I talk to other parents, and I find out I wasn't the only one, and that was my disease. You know what I mean? That was how I was in my disease. That's not how I am really. But you talk to a normal person about it, and they're like, oh, you're a piece of shit.
Dirty. You know, and that's what it is, man. It's like these. I mean, I have some crazy stories, man. Being stuck in hallways for hours and hours and days, sometimes being up for days and days and days. It's like, would a normal person really do that to themselves? Like nowadays, you got these people that are dying left and right, and then they, it's like they overdose, and then they overdose again and again and again, and it's like a sane person wouldn't do that. That's not normal, right? So that's why it's like we need a bunch of non-normal people to help the other non-normal people, and then we all kind of sing kumbaya and freaking rainbows and sunshine and shit. So
Right. Something like that.
something like that. And that doesn't happen like that, but we just find other things to get addicted to, like
Yes.
like fitness or freaking whatever,
Content.
everything. Content, yeah, exactly. It's becomes a problem at times, and then we have to refocus and get back in the swing of things. Well, I'm gonna read some comments and then we can kind of close it up. But we got Scott Loveland says, "Good job, Jamie." We got Jessica James says, "God blessed me with one and only son at age 34, in the chaos of my disease." We got Amy Lee says, "Good evening, Hope Shot." What's up, Amy Lee? We got Alfred says, "So much inspiration, hope, strength from your story. God bless you. I love it. We do recover." Let's see. We got Helen says, "Mind, body, and spirit." We got Aaron says, "This is awesome." This is awesome. I can see him doing that too. This is awesome. I'll put my own enthusiasm behind it. Let's see. Oh, we got Katie Baumgartner says, "Hey, Hope Shot, ran late again today. Shared, of course. We'll definitely watch the replay." Well, thanks for being here even late. It's cool. You can watch the replay. That's what's good about it. We got Jamie says, "Thank you for sharing, Jamie." And Scott, "Every day is a chance to be a better person." Yeah, Becky says, "Thanks for sharing, Jamie." Alicia says, "Hey, Hope Shot and Jamie, thank you for taking the time to share your story. God bless." Oh, Helen knows about that place, the camping place I was talking about. That place is just magical because it's just like the spring. It's just, it's so nice.
Now springs are like that's really cold water, right?
It's cold and clear.
Yeah.
Beautiful. My absolute favorite. We have tons in Florida. Kylene says, I can relate so much to your story. Thanks for sharing tonight. Chris says, yeah, right, Justin McPadden. You just don't like to edit for the live videos.
It is a lot of work.
It's a lot, man. I take all these lives and I edit it down as well now. And it's not as much. You know, I just take a little section and just take out the ums, the ands, and the pauses, and we're good to go. Let's see. Oh, my God. Mike says, for me, it's recovery titties I grew.
Never heard that before. Wow.
Well, we say you put down the spoon and pick up the fork. And here, I told him that the other day. And he's like, I never heard that. I was like, yeah, put down the spoon and pick up the fork because we like to eat after that.
That's right. So true.
Becky says, my daughters are 35 and 38, and we talk all the time now. I'm worried about them, but I cannot live their lives for them. Hopefully they don't make the same mistakes I did.
Yeah, that's hard for sure. I mean, but just knowing that, you know, if they do get off track a little bit, they know where to go to.
Exactly. They know exactly where the source is. Let's see. Krista says, I tend to use humor to cope, but most of the time it's either at inappropriate times or inappropriate humor, but I am who I am. Laugh my ass off.
That's all right. That's all right.
I think we're all there.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, let's see. What was got? We got
I feel like there's nothing really inappropriate with us, right? It's such a larger spectrum.
No. Yeah, I have one friend and she's a chick, and like we're like totally the same because we'll hear something or something will happen, right? And she'll look over the same time like, like, you get it. You just get it. Christina says, was great giving that hope and forgiveness. Let's see. Brian says, you did a great job in changing everything and giving it away to keep it powerful. Jamie, thanks. Anne says, awesome experience, strength, and hope. Hopeful says, thank you for sharing. Terry says, thanks, y'all. And let's see, we'll do a couple more and we're done. Oh, Mike Kenny says, bro, Cocoa Puffs got me like... Bro, you ain't right.
That face, though, that emoji is like serious.
Yeah, I know. He's like, that's the bathroom. No, that's what you look like in the bathroom now.
Yeah.
Aaron says, I really enjoy this freaking group. The stories, the recovery accomplishments really helps express the experience and strength and hope. Thanks, dude, man. I appreciate you coming on every week. And that's all we have for tonight. Thank you all for being here. And if you guys could share this, if you haven't shared it yet, share it out. You know, you never know whose Jamie's story is going to touch tonight, or somebody might need to hear it. And it just takes y'all to share it and hit that button. It takes 2 seconds. Boom, share it, done. And somebody might hear this and be like, man, maybe I can get it too. You know, so thank you all for being here. And thank you, Jamie, for coming and coming on and agreeing to come share your story. Appreciate you.
Of course.
All right. And if you guys don't know, we do Sunday night live. We do this Sunday, 8 p.m. Check us out. 8 p.m. we go live with topics on recovery related. And hope to see you guys then. Until then, good night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Love y'all. See you, Jamie.